you just tell me a little bit about your experience with mental health?
Yeah, back in 2012, I had my youngest son, Logan, and that was an emergency C-section that didn't go to plan. I ended up passing out on the operating table, and my husband wasn't allowed in the room at the time because they were trying to stabilise me. And I remember waking up with everybody's heads looking over me, calling my name, going, okay, it's good, you've come to yourself. And from that, I saw my son as a result of what I went through. He was in special care for 3 days, so I didn't even get to hold him or see him. Even when he was born, my husband quickly showed me a photo on his phone and said, this is him. So that was really hard, especially because my first child, everything was just textbook perfect.
Yeah.
And I started associating my son as the reason why I was going through that hard time. And from that, I think it was probably 18 months, I switched off completely. My husband had to take 4 months off work to help with feeds. I was completely desensitized. Anytime, my little one would cry, it was like lights were on, but nobody was home. I just couldn't engage with him because, as I said, he was the reason I was feeling really crappy.
So you worked it out for yourself that you needed to seek help?
I spent some time in hospital then, and basically I had convinced myself that I had a brain tumour that was causing, because I started Googling everything, which was the worst thing I could have done.
Yeah.
Then I was convinced, once they said there's no brain tumour, I said, okay, well, it has to be this, it has to be that. And the doctors were like, everything's clear. I did heart tests, saw a cardiologist, and everything was perfect. They're like, there's nothing here. And one doctor did say, have you ever heard of anxiety? And I went, well, yeah, and that was it. There was never a discussion past that.
What's your worst day look like and feel like?
I think probably the darkest days for me would be where I truly want to take my own life, where I feel like I'm not worthy of being here. And that's not always easy for people that I love to hear.
Yeah.
So I used to find I would go and sit in our spare room and write an email to my husband and kind of put it all out there. And yeah, I know that wouldn't have been easy for him, but it was my way of trying to get the pain out, because it's so, in those moments, it's just so suffocating. I can't see a way out when I'm in those. And I know that there is, because I've gone through so many hurdles and got out the other side, but it is scary, especially when, I see other people that have lost their life. I wonder what's the difference between them and I. That could have been me.
Why, and I mean this so respectfully,
Yeah.
Why didn't you? What stopped you? What was the difference between you not harming yourself?
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the thought of my children not having me. Yeah, I think that would probably be one of my biggest fears, would be the boys not having me around, because I can't even fathom not seeing the milestones, seeing them grow up, graduate, get married, be a grandmother, all those great things. I'd like to think they're the moments that when it's really tough, they're the moments that actually make me dig really deep and keep fighting.
How important is the support for somebody suffering with mental illness?
I think what started it was I had made a couple of phone calls to get myself some help, and was told, and this was in the moment I needed to talk to someone right then and there, and I was told there was waiting lists. There was basically, are you suicidal? No, so you don't need to call Lifeline.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, who do I talk to? So this was late at night one night, and I thought, okay, everyone sees me mucking around. I'm kind of the one that when we're in a group situation will crack the inappropriate jokes. And I thought, but they don't see this side. So I decided to get on my Facebook page, and I basically put a post up on what I'd been going through. And I was quite overwhelmed by the level of empathy and feedback I got from people saying I had no idea, I would never have picked it. I had a couple of people say to me, I'm going through the same thing, my husband doesn't even know. And from that I thought, wow, there's so many people that have contacted me, and some I've never spoken to before and others I hadn't spoken to in a long time. And from that's when I actually decided to create an online support group, which saw at its peak 500 members from all over the world. And it was just a platform for people to come and talk to someone else that got it, and just create that safe space for them. And that is the moment I believed, that moment and having that support group was what saved my life.
That is unbelievable. There
Something
is
very-
good use in social media.
There is good use in social media. But I mean, it took a lot of courage, but
Yeah.
it was scary because I had no idea what I would get back,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad I did it.
Tell me now, obviously your connection with Flourish as well. You've been with them for a while.
Yes, I've been with Flourish, the Women and Children's Program, for 4.5 years now. And it was only, I met the manager at the time back in 2014, 15, I think it was. I met the manager then at the time because I was doing a bit of work for a support group I had started up myself. And she had mentioned peer worker, and she's like, you know, you could be a peer worker. I'm like, I have no idea what a peer worker is. She explained it to me, and I'm like, wow, so I can actually use my experience to work with others. And from that, I applied for the job and started working casually. I worked in the residential program, which we have, you know, women that live on site, 24 hours supported accommodation. And from that, got part-time, and now I work in the transition with the mums, and I don't feel like I work because I love my job.
It must be so rewarding.
It is, and it's been a huge part for my own recovery as well.
Yeah, how's that? How has it helped you?
It's given me purpose, and I think it's given me a sense of understanding what I went through. So I guess in those moments when I would question, why is this happening to me? Why am I the one having the panic attacks? You know, why am I going through all these things? It gave me, being able to do this work gives me that sense of, as I say to people, I feel grateful for my experience because it allowed me to find myself and my real passion.
Thank you so much, Kylie.
No,
Thanks
thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much.
Thanks
Thank you.
You'll inspire so many people, but your story is unbelievable and
Thank
your
you.
courage is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you very much.